My name is Stephanie Bursese. I'm a visual artist based in Philadelphia. I make work about the relationship between physical and psychological space. I work in textiles, book forms, embroidery, sculpture, installation, and printmaking. I was raised by a single mom, and she had to work a lot, so I was home a lot by myself, playing video games and reading, thinking of these other worlds in my mind. We moved a lot, we moved around a lot, so I was able to be this new version of myself every year. The way I was making friendships, I feel like, was sort of like an anthropologist. And I got into photography when I was 16 and wanted to be a photojournalist. Spent 1 year at the Miami Herald and then was like, this is totally not for me at all. So I went to the University of Florida. While I was studying photography, I was working a lot in printmaking. I started to combine fabric and paper and explore how these cultural and social systems impact that interaction between me and the world. I think some themes that you can see throughout my work are relationships, boundaries and borders and thresholds in relation to relationships, how our physical environment influences the way we understand our place in the world. Daily habits, walks that we are on when we park our car and we walk to our apartment, our domestic environment, like the objects that we see in our lives every day, how that makes up a kind of iconography in our life. Thinking about the built environment and the natural environment, how something that's been here for hundreds and thousands and millions of years is constantly pushing up against what we are building and trying to do as humans. All of those kinds of tensions and that fissure or that little explosion, those things are really interesting to me. My relationship to the photographs I'm making has gone in and out of feeling close and then feeling distance to that. That's very similar to a romantic relationship, a long-term romantic relationship. My photography itself has changed. Some of the images I take now, I realize that they're more like these recorded documents that then gets used in another kind of process, like punch needle, embroidery, or riso, or printmaking. A symbol that comes up consistently in my work is the loop. The loop is a pattern of thinking, patterns of behavior, and watching people repeat mistakes, joy, love. So all of the processes that I use in my work are repetitive. The repetition evokes a sense of meditation. It's like watching your favorite show that you've seen a million times. One idea that I love is like a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and how that information is translated and degraded over time. A copy can still be completely original. So it can be almost exactly the same as something else, but there's always going to be a little bit of a difference there. To me, that's endlessly exciting. I've created a very specific and detailed process built off of traditional punch needle. My process is micro punch needle. The needle is very small. The thread is embroidery thread. What inspired me was traditional needlework samplers, popular in the 15th and 16th century, up until about the 18th century. Young women ages 8 to 15 would make these textile pieces. A lot of them had the alphabet on them, had numerology. Also, some of them were very religious, and some of them were just a collection of stitches, which is how the samplers started. Women were meeting with each other. They were actually able to leave their domestic lives, talk with each other freely. And I asked myself, what would my sampler be? What has kind of made up the literal fabric of my life? I've now taken hundreds and thousands of images. I pull from them like an archive. Those images then were obsessively recreated and embroidered onto textiles. A lot of people encounter craft. They see it first as functional and second as decorative, which is a way to dissolve and dilute talking about it as art. They imagine that they are just looking at the content of a rock or a gate or a piece of birthday cake. But what they don't understand is the long history of textile work, the history of craft, the history of feminism. I think what I'm challenged by now is what are the systems that are oppressing or affecting the way that each of us relates to the world around us, that have to be recognized even if we individually do not believe or participate in those systems. The empathy and the kind of understanding of the direct experience of another person allows you to kind of reimagine and rework your own life into the world that you would like to live in. A question that I ask myself a lot in my work is, how do we make meaning? Inspired by Andrea Zitel's question, how do we live? My work traces systems of control into systems of direct opposition, i.e. labor unions, feminism, women's liberation, and contemporary craft. My own artwork was my own path to self-actualization, and I see the function of my artwork as hopefully being a small part of that for someone else. And I see my work as a form of resistance.